We thought he'd probably been shot, chest or the abdomen, and we could revive him and take care of him surgically. But when we reached the emergency room, that was a different story.
Were you very quickly aware that he was unlikely to survive?
As soon as I walked into trauma room 1 and saw him, Mrs. Kennedy was on the left inside the room. He was on a stretcher, arms were out on arm boards, and I saw a small wound in his neck, but I knew he had a large wound in the back of his head, and I saw no evidence of life. But Dr. Carrico, who was a second-year resident, thought he saw some respiration just as he came in the room, and we were probably a minute later, and that's what triggered the resuscitation.
I believe, Julian Reed, that you arrived at the hospital and you saw both Mrs. Kennedy and Mrs. Connolly sitting in the hall outside the trauma rooms. I mean, again, what a remarkable moment to have witnessed personally. What was it like in real time?
Well, I ran into the end of the, I found the open door at the end of the hospital. Remarkable, you know, no one there, no security. And I found a nurse very quickly and asked her if she'd take me to Miss Connolly. And she did, and I found Ms. Connolly in a dark hallway, right outside trauma room 2. The president was in trauma room 1. She was sitting outside there, and right across was Jackie Kennedy, 2 women, not a sound spoken, thinking about their husbands and whether they could survive.
Did you say anything to them?
Well, I talked to her. I certainly didn't say anything to Ms. Kennedy. I talked to her because I knew the press would be there any minute, and I had to kind of know what happened. I wanted to be able to report what had occurred. So she was calm. Netta Connolly was very calm, even under the stress, and she knew he was already inside, you know, in hands to save him, hopefully, Governor Connolly.
And he did, thankfully.
And he did, thank God. That was the only good thing that came out of that.
Right.
Yes.
The president obviously did not survive. He was read the last rites, I think, by 2 Catholic priests that came into the room. The moment when he was pronounced dead, I mean, that's a chilling moment, isn't it, for you?
Well, yes. We knew he was dead after we had performed the tracheotomy, and I did the cut down and got an IV going, inserted chest tubes, and we had an electrocardiogram, an EKG heart machine brought in.
And what are you thinking? I mean, you know, there you are. You've got your president there fighting for his life. What is going through your mind, aged 31?
Well, you're thinking, you know, how did I get here? The odds of me taking care of a president must be 1 in infinitesimal.
Did you manage to stay calm? Were you, I mean, how would you describe your state?
I think we kicked into a routine management of a trauma patient, and knowing that it was the president, but still, you get an airway, you get an IV going, and you assess the injuries, and that's what we did initially. And then we knew that I thought probably he was not going to make it anyway, but we decided we would try to do something rather than do nothing.